Hi, I'm Miss Lisa from the Stuart C. Meyer Harker Heights Public Library, and today I'm here with my friend John. He works for the Parks and Recreation Department, and he actually comes over to our building all the time. All right, John. So, John, tell everybody your full name.
All right, hi, I'm John Levan, and I'm with the City of Parker Heights, and my position is the facility technician. And like Miss Lisa said, I work at various buildings around the city, and I do come over to the library activity center very often to fix things that they need fixed around the building. And today we're going to talk about this machine right here, which is called a scissor lift. And there are various jobs that I have to do around the city that takes a scissor lift to get up into higher spaces that a ladder normally can't get into. And to start it off, like I said, this is a scissor lift, and anytime you want to get on the scissor lift, the very first thing we want to think about is safety. And so what we're going to do first, before I get onto my scissor lift, is I'm going to put on this yellow thing, which is a harness. And so Miss Lisa is going to help me strap up to my harness so that I can get on this scissor lift to do my job. You got to be very careful that you get this harness on correctly, because if you don't get it on correctly, something could happen when you're up there and if you accidentally fell off the machine.
Well, that is a pretty big harness, and earlier I noticed that you were working with it because you were trying to make sure that it fit just right. Is that important?
Yes, you want it to, you don't want it to be too loose and you don't want it to be too tight. You want it to be just comfortable so that you can get up there and do your job. Because I do know sometimes I have worked with it before, and it does take a minute to get it prepared, because I'm not the only one that uses it. There might be a various number of people that use it, and they vary according to size and how big they are. But once you get in it, it's not too complicated to adjust. You just adjust the straps and kind of get it to where you like it.
So anytime we're using equipment and big trucks, there may be safety equipment that you have to wear on top of that, because nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, right? Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, exactly. When you go to do a job, the very most important thing of it is safety first. You always want to think about safety.
Almost have it.
Yep, got this last little clip here, and then we'll be gone.
And do you make sure that you have that on every single time that you get on top of this equipment?
Yes, we want to make sure that no matter how high or how high you're going to go, or if the lift is just like a normal position, you want to have it on you so that you're not falling off and having any accidents. All right, so now I got my harness on. I'm going to have Miss Lisa help me with the strap that I have here that straps to the scissor lift.
All right, this is really big.
So what you got to do is you got to just clamp that and push it over.
All right.
And there should be a hooker right at the top, right here on the back.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, so now pull on, make sure she's clipped. All right, now we're ready to go. So I got my safety gear on, and so now it's time to climb up onto the machine.
Excellent.
Okay, well, before I climb up there, you have to know the controls on the ground so that you can control it when you get up on the machine. So over here, we have a little key switch. There's two different positions on the machine. You can either have the switch on so you can control it from the ground, because you have to go through doors. You have to adjust the lift so that the cage part will fold down so that you can get it through the doors. So
is that how you got it in this building? You had to bring it through doors?
We had to fold it down. So what we'll do here, I'll give you a quick demonstration. It's not too hard. So there's little pins on the machine that you pull out, and it allows it to fold down. I'll have to climb up here now.
It does. Wow, that was kind of a loud sound, wasn't it? That was loud. I wasn't expecting that.
It's kind of loud, you gotta be careful with it.
And so that way you go indoors. Make sure you don't mess up any ceilings.
So when we're on the ground, we have to make sure our key is on and in the position, and we can turn it to the position, and now I can control the thing on the ground. So mainly when you're on the ground, this thing will drive, or it has mode where it goes up and down. So when you're on the ground controlling it, it just goes. So you have an up and down. But now if you want to drive it, you have to put it back over in drive mode. And you can you got a controller, and you can take it and use it, and you can pretty much, you gotta be careful because this thing does kind of move.
Oh, wow.
So you can steer it and move it to where you need to place it.
That reminds me of a remote control car.
Exactly, it is like a remote control car.
But this is not a toy. But this is not a toy.
This is, even though it seems like it isn't fast to some people, you have to be very careful because it can get out of control really fast. And like I said, sometimes when you're going through a door, you have to go really slow because you don't want to hit something. So you really got to be cautious. So on that part, we're going to fold it back up into working position.
Have to make sure all the pieces are in the right spot in order to get it back up. Oh, here we go.
Okay, when we put it back up in the working position, we're going back and around. You have to attach all the pins back in place so that your cage does not collapse when you're working in this area. Again, it's important
To put those pins back in, so you're going to have to go through and put all the pins in.
And like I told you at the beginning, safety first. There's no job more important than safety.
All right. How long did it take you to learn how to do that?
I would say a good 30 minutes to an hour. You know, you want to just walk around, and the biggest thing of it is you want to get comfortable with the machine. Because like I said, this machine is used to get up in very high places. And the number one thing people have to get familiar with, you know, you got to get familiar with how the machine works and all the safety procedures and everything. But some people are scared of heights.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid.
And that was one of my things, like I had to get used to it. Being way up in the air, you don't want to look over. You want to kind of more focus on your job rather than looking over, because it can go up pretty high.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Some people could be very afraid of heights. That's just natural.
All righty, so now we got it back in working position. I got to climb up there, put my controller back. So I'm going to enter it from the back. As you can tell, I've been going up here. There's a little ladder here on the back that I can climb up onto my machine to get up on here and work. So I'm going up here. I'm going to put my little controller back in its little position here. Lock it in place, and now we're ready to go. Now, as you can see, I've got some supplies and stuff up here that I'm using already for a job. But another important thing is when you're up here on this deck, is you want it to be clear and clean of objects and stuff. So that there are no hazards to cause you to lose balance or fall or anything like that.
So it might take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it to move everything over.
Yes. So I'm up here, and then when you're up here, and you know that you're going to be up in the air working, you want to try to make sure that you have everything you need up here safely and properly on the deck. So some of the tools and things that I've brought with me to do the job I need to do here at the Activity Center right now, I've got some LED light bulbs. I have a few different sizes because there's a variation of different light bulbs here. I got a screwdriver and some pliers and a voltage meter, which I'm working on light bulbs and electricity, so that I need to know that if the power, we're getting power to the light bulbs and stuff. And I want to make sure I'm not electrocuting myself. So, of course, you can kind of see I've got a few things here on my lift, and it's not really cluttered, and it's not going to cause me any damage, so we're okay to go. So knowing the fact that I've got everything on my lift, and we're ready to go to do the job, I'm going to make sure I'm clipped in.
Oh, yep, he's checking it.
I got to make sure, again, it's all about safety. And on the lift, depending on where you're working at, because my rope or my harness is not very long, so depending on where the side is at that I'm working on, I might have to change my hook. So on the lift, we have a variation of different hooks. We got one located in the back, to where if you're working more towards the back, you can hook in the back. Now, we have a couple in the front too, that if you're working in the front, towards the front of the lift, you can hook up into the front on either side. And right now, I'm going to have to hook in the front because I have to control the lift so that I can lift up to go to my job site. So, you take your little clip, snap it right there, and you want to make sure it's snapped. There could be a possibility that your little snap thing malfunctioned and it doesn't work right. So again, safety first. Okay, so all right, I'm hooked in, got all my stuff, and I'm ready to go. So I'm parked where I need to be. But if I wasn't, like I told you, we can drive the lift. So you can take the lift and you can drive it.
So it makes kind of a beeping noise even when you go forward.
Yes, it does. It's for a safety factor. And most of the times when we have availability, we try to get 2 people to operate the lift because it's a lot easier than 1 person, because you can have 1 person on the ground and then you can have 1 person up top in the lift driving it around, so that if you kind of are in a crowd of people, you can watch out for what's going on in front of you and around you with 4 eyes rather than 2 eyes. So, okay, I showed you that the lift can drive, and I'm getting ready to go back over here where the lights are at, where the wires are hanging over the little lip there, so I got to get my lift back in position so that I can get up there and work. And again, when you drive the lift, it does have pretty good little speed, so you got to be very careful that you are driving it slowly and not damaging anything.
going to be working on?
Okay, so I'm pretty much in position and ready to go up with my lift because I'm parked right here by where I want to go. And so now I'm going to switch it to going up. And on one quick note with the lift, you got to remember, you're not going to see so much inside when you're inside a building because the floors are pretty level and everything. But we do use this lift outside. And there's one key factor you got to know when you're working with it outside is if you get on unlevel ground, this lift will not work because there's little supports down under the lift that flare out when you go up, and it helps keep the scissor lift balanced and level. And so when it goes up, it'll read if it reads if the scissor lift is level or not. And so when you go up and it reads it's not level, it'll give you a beeping sound and it'll quit going up.
Oh, that's smart.
So that's another safety feature. So again, safety first.
All right.
So, all right, we're all ready to go. We're in position, and here we go. We're going to go up. And again, this thing, just like when you drive it to your spot, this thing raises up pretty fast.
Okay.
So here we go. And you want to be very careful when you're going up, so you don't want to hit anything. So here I am, I'm up here.
Watching all the way up there.
And you can see me it raised me pretty high, and so now it makes it a lot easier so that I can get over here and work on the lights. Now one cool feature to the lift is I'm up here high, and let's say I had to go down there to check on something. Well, we have drive mode, so that I can actually take it and drive it while I'm in the air. Again, you have to be very careful not to hit anything.
So you would definitely have to be a professional to work one of these.
You have to have some pretty good knowledge.
Okay.
And plus, again, like I said, it's a lot easier having 2 or 4 eyes rather than 2 eyes, but there are some instances where you can't have 2 people. So, okay, here we go. We're going to try to drive forward a little. So I'm coming up here. And here I am. I got to travel this little bit. And let's say if I needed to go clear across over there, I could, we could go ahead and lower it. And now I can drive over there. The nice thing about these lifts are they're small, and you can pretty much get them anywhere. And in my case, where I work on a lot of different things, and sometimes you need a really tall ladder and you don't have one, well, I can always use the lift. So I'm right here, and let's say this light needed worked on, I can just come over here. And there we go, I can get to my light bulbs.
Of course, we turn them off first.
Yes, we turn them off.
We
You
would.
always want to turn the lights off before you're changing them.
Oh my goodness.
So, and then this lift, this is not as high as a lift goes. This lift will go very, I can't.
Like even higher, we couldn't even go higher in this
We
room.
could, I do know they have used it at our Harker Heights Recreation Center in the basketball.
Oh, in the gym.
Or in the gym. And they use it over there, and those ceilings are a lot higher over there than they are here at the library and activity center. So this machine gets used throughout the city quite often.
Well, John, thank you so much for showing us.
Useful, and I hope you enjoy.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. Thank you so much for showing us. Now tell us again one more time. What is this called?
This is called the scissor lift.
The Scissor lift. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, John. That was great.